Hi guys, Gary from Screens and Thrills. So today we've popped over to Alton Towers, my first theme park visit this year. So we're going to have a look around, see what's changed at Alton Towers, see what improvements have been made, and to be honest I've already started to see quite a few changes. When you first walk in, the entrance toilets have finally had a bit of a spruce up. They're looking a lot more fresher and a lot more nicer now. You can also now collect your ride access pass timeout cards at the ticket kiosks before you enter through the turnstiles, which is good because that reduces the queue times at guest services. And as always, you can also buy your photo pass from people as soon as you walk in, as well as from the resort box office. Guest services as well, I'll put a little clip on the screen now, has had a little bit of a spruce up as well. It's looking a lot more nicer and inviting. Towers trading hasn't really changed that much, and a little bit of a signage update, and that's about it really. So we're gonna head on over to Forbidden Valley, I think, first. Let's see how the day goes. So we're gonna have a look in Forbidden Valley at the Phalanx facility. So let's have a look, see what changes have been made, and have a look at the new Toxicator. But first off, we're going to be going on Nemesis Reborn. It's good to see that the theming is being kept up with in this area.
You are now entering the containment zone.
Still think they should do something different with that arcade facility. Needs to have an indoor ride in there, I reckon. It's good to see that there's still got some themed lighting. The Nemesis containment zone. Let's have a look and see how the beast is riding today. Been on Nemesis Reborn, running just as smooth as it was last season. I think they may have resolved the slight rattle that they used to have towards the back end of that ride. I didn't personally feel or hear any rattle. I didn't see any waterfalls, but I have heard that they're supposed to be starting to come back. So let's have a look on over at Toxicator off-ride and see what that looks like. So we've got Toxicator. I've got to admit, in person, some nice theming on that ride. Nice little Easter egg there for Toxicator. while we're over in this area, we thought, may as well go on Galactica. See how it's running, see if it's improved on more than one train. So here we go, let's have a look at Galactica. Personally, it's looking a bit run down now, if I'm honest. Needs a bit of a re-theme, I think. So yeah, as suspected, it's running on one train, only loading from one station, which naturally makes the queue a little bit longer.
Delivering strength and control.
We've got a little nod to Minnesota. So that's left of Blade. Big empty pit. So I just came off Toxicator. First time riding that. It's not a bad ride. It's not the most thrilling of rides. I certainly need to get them fountains turned up more. The ceiling's not too bad either, to be honest. The cylinders on the sides, you can tell the TV screens, which is a bit of a shame. As with all Plus top spins, very squeaky, very air brakey sounding. But yeah, it's not an overly too bad of a ride. A nice addition. It's just a shame that they took away Blade and only put this in its place. Ideally, they do need to get more flat rides, especially more thrilling flat rides. But it's nice to see that they've invested in a new ride. So we're going to have a wander over, I think, to Subterra and see if that's operating today. I do stand corrected about Galactica, that is running on 2 trains. It's just they're only running on one station. So it does make loading a bit slow. So a new addition to the area is the Monster Energy truck. Seems to be sponsoring Nemesis. Got 3 options of Monster: the original Monster, White Monster, or Mango. So Alton this year have got finally the new freestyle machines. And the one thing I've noticed so far is they've themed them to the areas. So on your screen now you'll see a little clip of the one near the Curse at Alton Manor. It's all themed to the area. So the ones over in Forbidden Valley, they're themed to the Forbidden Valley theming, which I think is really good. It makes it more immersive. So yeah, we've just been on Nemesis Subterra. Unfortunately, no actors in the end sequence. It's probably to do with the entertainment cuts that Merlin have done. It does seem that Alton have been hit more by the cuts than the likes of Thorpe and the other parks. So we're going to head on down to Curse at Alton Manor, have a little look on there, see if there's anything new, anything changed, or if there's anything broken, which is sometimes the case with the Curse. So let's have a quick look. So a little change of plan, we're going to go and have a look at see whether Congo River Rapids is open, as the Curse is temporarily unavailable. So yeah, had a quick look in the shop, some new merch for this year, some new t-shirts and that, usual Merlin prices, some new pin badges as well. So it just came off Congo River Rapids, just as forceful as it normally is. Still get quite wet on that. Also, there's no waterfalls this time though, which is a bit of a shame. So we've just been for a ride on the Wicker Man, and that ride is running just as smooth, just as fast. That ride, I think, is going to be one of the rides that ages really well in this park, to be honest. It doesn't really seem to have much downtime either, for a wooden roller coaster, which is really good, because let's be honest, this park does need as much rides open as possible, especially with them removing rides and not replacing them. So we're going to head on over to the Dark Forest and get on 13, and unfortunately at the moment it looks like Rita's not open. It hasn't been open since we got here, so it doesn't look like it's going to be open today, which is a bit unfortunate. But yeah, we're going to head on over to 13. So just get off 13. Unfortunately Rita is closed today, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. So we're going to head on over to X Sector and have a go on Oblivion and Smiler. So we've just been on a ride on Hex The Legend of the Towers, and it's the first time we've been back on that for about a year, I think. Obviously it reopened last year with some changes, but we didn't really come to Towers much last year. So it's the first time we've been on it since it's reopened in its refurbished form. And to be honest, they have done quite a bit of work to that ride. They've changed the entrance part to it, so now it's got all of the queue lines all in one place. It's now also, when you go through the main doors, there's like the usual cattle pen type queue line, but then you stop at a set of doors, whereas before you didn't. You used to continue straight on. It's kind of like a little holding area. It's almost like another pre-show, to be honest. TV screens telling you a bit about the excavations and stuff like that. Then you get moved through into the first pre-show chamber, which again, that's all being moved around. The operator's console is now further towards the back, and that pre-show's not really changed at all, to be honest. It's still the same. Then after that one, you move into what's more commonly known as the cinema room. That's again not really changed. A few new lighting effects in there, but other than that, not really changed. And then you move into the Octagon room, which there's been a few changes in there effects wise. There's some new lighting effects in there. Storyline's still the same, but yeah, then you get summoned up to the steps to go through the entranceway into the hidden chamber, which when you walk into that, again, it's still the same. You sit down, and from what I could tell, all of the effects were working today. The branch lit up with the lights, smoke came from the branch, as it should do. And then there was a few new effects within the ride itself. Mainly new lighting effects and stuff like that. But it just seems a lot more fresh. It's certainly, you can certainly tell it's had work done to it. And again, exit wise, exactly the same. So yeah, a few little odd changes, but not massive amount. But then you don't really want to change such an iconic ride. So we're gonna head on over to X Sector and have a look at Smiler and Oblivion and see how they're running today. So we ended our day on the Curse at Alton Manor. Still quite a bit of dead space in there. Some changes, not much though. And that's our end of our day now here at Alton Towers. First visit of the season. So if you've liked this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll see you in our next video.